Southwest, guys. Southwest had the Southwest situation was a shit show over the holiday, to say the least. Okay? It was a shit show. Out of all the flight cancellations that happened, 84 to 85% were Southwest. Many people were like, why? 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 Well, you got to think about Southwest operating model. Their operating model is a little bit different than the Deltas, the Uniteds, and so forth. The Deltas, United, and so forth, they have different hubs. United's hubs, Chicago, Denver, Houston, and so forth. So they have locations where their planes typically sit and they go out of. Delta, the exact same way. Atlanta, New York, Dallas, or Dallas is American Airlines. But they have other hubs throughout. Minneapolis is another one for Delta. They have hubs where their planes typically sit and go out of. So if there's a weather event, it stops that potential hub from leaving, but the rest of the network can still operate. So when there was a big storm that was terrorizing the Midwest and the East Coast, Delta still was able to fly from out of parts of Texas, out of parts of Minneapolis, out of parts on the West Coast. Southwest, on the other hand, they don't operate that way. They don't have hubs. They have point-to-point systems. Point-to-point systems are you leave from one location, go to the next city, go to another city, go to another city, go into another city without having a hub. So if a plane is on this side of the storm, it has to sit there until that storm is gone. So all the Southwest flights that were going to certain locations or could not get out of the storm, they had to stay still. They didn't have other operating hubs that flights can go out of. So they had to cancel the majority of their flights, not because of that system, that's part of it, but it also came down to technology, antiquated technology that their company knew that needed to be replaced. And then they had software systems that were built in the 1990s to where if they had over 300 cancellations, their system would back up, locking up where the inventory is at, where the pilots are, where the plane's at, where the baggage is at. So when you have an entire country or part of a country shut down, now you have all these cancellations and you have old technology, it created a disaster for Southwest. You have many people who were rebooked 4 days straight, canceled, had to drive, terrorizing or making their Christmas terrible. And this is all because of bad technology, I would say. If the technology was there, if the company would have invested into the technology, at least people wouldn't have lost their bags, luggage, and so forth. At least pilots would have been, you would have been able to understand where your air crew is. At least you would have understood where your planes were. But the fact that their technology failed, many people are still missing their bags and probably won't ever get their bags because they don't even know where they are. Okay? So Southwest, they poorly invest. They poorly invest into the company, and their CEO had to come out in front of the entire world to apologize. Don't think that this is, be quite honest, this is going to cause some heads to roll. It should cause some heads to roll. You look at the percentages here, canceled, delayed, Southwest, number one, 56% of the flights canceled, 21% delayed, Delta, small number, 8%, 16%, United, 5%, 22%, a complete meltdown they had over the holidays. I was never a Southwest fan. Now, I have a lot of people who swears by Southwest in the corporate world. They travel Southwest because they are in San Diego and New Mexico and so forth, and they enjoy the perks of Southwest. And many people have said nothing but good things about Southwest, but failing to invest in technology, failing to advance your technology, ultimately is going to catch up with you. And that's what happened with Southwest, guys. So you got to think about this from a personal standpoint. When you don't level up, you don't upgrade, ultimately there's going to be a meltdown in your life. When you do the same thing that you've been doing for the last 10, 20 years, and you get fired because of automation or you get replaced because of automation, you have a meltdown. You can only sustain the norm for a short amount of time before it catches up with you. Southwest says we're going to maintain the norm. We're going to stick to doing what we've been doing in the 90s. We're going to stick with the technology that we have been using since the 90s. We don't need to upgrade. Everything is cool. You guys may be with somebody who's like that, working in a warehouse, working in the same job. Everything is cool. Everything is fine. I'm going to continue to do what I do. You do what you do. Don't think that a meltdown won't happen, okay? That's why it's always best to level up. Get those new skills. Upgrade.
What's up, ladder climbers? It's Antoine Wade. I wanted to interrupt this video to talk to you guys about Course Careers. Course Careers is the place that you guys need to go if you have a high interest into tech sales. They will help you gain the skills that you need so that you can enter the tech sales world to make a whole bunch of money. Tech sales salaries early on is about $60,000, guys. That's a good salary. And with OTEs, you can make anywhere from $85,000 to $90,000. If you have an interest in tech sales, check out Course Careers, link in the description. And don't forget to use Antoine50 so that you can get a $50 discount off of Course Careers. See you guys in tech sales.
Not as a person, but if you're with a partner or somebody like that, encourage them that these are the situations that can happen as well to them from a personal standpoint. If you are a person that's just sitting there thinking that, I don't got to change nothing. I don't got to change nothing. You're probably the same type of person that thinks that, Grant Cardone is probably stupid by saying $400,000 isn't a lot of money. He'd be embarrassed. But if you get it that these things can happen to companies the same way they can happen to people, you'll recognize that it's only a matter of time. If you don't level up, continue to evolve, you get left behind, or there potentially is a meltdown that's waiting. Okay, so I like to take these examples and put them in a personal perspective and say, hey, you know what? If I was Southwest and I just thought I was the stuff for 20 plus years and don't feel like I need to upgrade and level up, man, something may happen to me. Something may happen. I might have a meltdown later because I chose not to. Maybe there's a competitor. If I'm running a business and takes your lunch, literally take your lunch. You think about the Blockbusters of the world. Didn't level up. What happened? Netflix came. Think about what may be happening to Netflix. If they don't level up, there could be another one that's coming. You think about what's happened to Google right now. Don't think they aren't shaking with Chat GPT being out there now. All this AI technology giving people simple answers versus having to go and search through bloated web experiences to get information that they want. Companies are going to be shaking if they don't level up. Same for you. You should be shaking if you aren't doing and learning new skills. And as you continue to earn those new skills and learn, the market's going to demand how much you should be getting paid. And the skills that you learn on top of what you already know means that you're going to get paid more by the market. Okay?